I'm doing a quick lunchtime live today. A little early for lunchtime, I know, but I have meetings all afternoon, so I'm taking lunch when I have free time on my schedule. So today I am working on coloring in these stamps. I'm gonna color in these cute little Valentine's Day stamps, and then I think I want to make these into a card. So we are going to color these in and then go from there. Excuse me. Alright. So I did the first one already. I tried doing the gel pen. I didn't like it too much. So I think we're going to skip the gel pen on the next one. Gonna do our little koala. I did him in cool gray last time. I'm going to try warm gray this time. Maybe not. I like about 2 of my warm gray. I have 3. That's good enough. Let's see how it looks in the warm gray. Now these are from, close to my heart, Smitten stamp set. You can see I spilled something on my thing right there. We're coloring out this little guy here. I think this warm gray is a better color for a little koala bear. And I did stamp and heat emboss these the other day. The heat embossing just makes it so much easier to color and shade, and gives just a little extra dimension to these guys. Put that one down. That was warm gray 3. I think we're gonna see how it looks with warm gray 1. Yeah, I think that'll be nice. Oh, such a cute little koala bear we have here. Such a cute little guy. And I think I have ideas for him aside from Valentine's Day. I think that little heart balloon he's carrying, I think we could cover up the heart and use him for birthdays and other such stuff. we're just gonna keep coloring him in. I think he looks cute. So let's move on to our sewing machine next. The last one I did in the teal. Yeah, I'm not sure I really like the teal. I think we're gonna try just a blue for this one. Then we're gonna do the blue 2. Now we're going to go in and color the dials. I use gray for this dial. And I think for the paper spool, I think we're going to make that pink because this is for Valentine's Day. gonna have a lot of pink paper and such that we're gonna try to pull this in and match. So a little touch of pink in there. There we go. Next we're going to do our fan. There we go. I think the fan looks good. Actually, you know, maybe we'll. There we go. Just a little bit of dimension to those little dials. Today I am making, well first, hello, I am coloring these little stamps and then I'm going to die cut them and they are going to go on Valentine's Day cards. Thank you for joining me and thank you for your question. So next we're going to color his little balloon in. Oh yes, welcome, and you are welcome to lurk. This is my early lunch break today, so I'm just getting some coloring done while I have some free time in the middle of my day. This is basically what I would be doing if I had the camera on or not. Just trying to get these cute little guys filled in. And I love the koala stamp. He is the cutest. Or maybe it's a she, I don't know how you tell with koala bears. I like to respect their privacy. Now I don't know, I think I am going to try the gel pen on him again. I don't like how the belly on this one came out with the gel pen, so maybe we'll skip the belly and just do the ears and the nose. It's hard to see, I'm sure, on the camera. It's not the most apparent from where I'm looking at it, but when you're up close, it does add just a little bit of dimension with the gel pen. Makes it worth spending the extra couple seconds just filling that in a little. I don't know if I should try his belly or not. And maybe now that this one's dry, I'll try to go over this one a little more. But I don't think it's really making a difference. Yeah, I don't think you could tell. I think we're going to leave the belly alone. Okay, we'll move those two up. And then our last little one that we're going to color in today. And of the two grays, I think he looks better in the warm gray. I think it's more, I don't know. You know, I didn't look at any pictures of koalas, so I don't know which one's more correct, but I just like the warmer colors. Yeah, it's hard with the gel pens when you're coloring because it's like, well, it's a gel, so if you go over it more than once, it's like you're just smushing your pen through the gel, and I don't like that. So this is my darkest warm gray that I'm using first. And I know a lot of people will start with their lightest color. I'm an impatient crafter. I like to, you know, do my project, get done. And I find it's faster if I do my dark color and then I take my light color and I just pull some of that color out with a lighter color. So that's just how I do it. And I am no coloring expert. There are some ladies I know where they start coloring something and oh my gosh, it ends up looking like a professional illustration. No, I'm just happy when you could tell that I use more than one color on the stuff that I do. Yeah, my lighting's like never, my light source is never perfect, but you know what? I don't want to sit here for 4 hours coloring one little graphic. I want to move on and finish stuff. And I've tried doing coloring classes like Kid and Clouder. They have a free Copic class you could take and, you know, learn how to do shading. Well, it's not just Copics, it's, you know, whatever marker you want to use, but they'll teach you how to do shading and light source and stuff. And it's a really long multi-part class. I think I made it through half of the first and second classes, and then it was just taking too much time. I just didn't have the patience to really learn. So, you know, I figure what I do, it's good enough for me. And he definitely looks really cute in this warm gray. Just trying to even them out so you don't see the lines from the darker color as much. And as that dries, it'll even out on its own too. There's been many times where I'm coloring something and I think it looks absolutely horrible, but then I set it aside and I come back and look at it later after it's dried and it's like, oh, okay, maybe that wasn't so bad. We're always our own harshest critics. He is just such a cute little guy. I just love the stamp so much. I think he looks really cute. now for our next sewing machine. Looking at the two we've done, I think we're gonna go with the blue again. Because I know I have Valentine's Day paper that has quite a bit of blue in it versus the teal. So this is the darker blue that I pulled out from my marker bin. I was using my marker bin the other day for a video, and I had my colors kind of organized, like, you know, all the blues were together, all the blue greens were together, that sort of thing. And then I went to set my marker bin down on its side, and I didn't latch the latch all the way, and all my markers spilled out of the marker bin. So now they are just stuffed in there. I have not reorganized them. It's just so time consuming. Figure I'll get around to it eventually. For now, they're just, you know, loud and free, mingling with each other. That was louder than I thought it would be. So once I finish coloring these, I'm gonna go grab my big shot, and we're gonna cut these little dies out. Cut, you know, get the dies out and cut these guys out of the paper. And then we'll figure out how we're gonna make a card out of these. And my markers are just all over the place. It'll be okay though. Eventually I'll reorganize them. I keep wanting to buy some more markers to fill in some of the gaps in my collection. I've put them in my cart a few times. I had a ton of them in my cart on scrapbookpal.com because if you use their first time purchase coupon, I think that's the cheapest you could find the Copics right now. Especially some of the colors that they don't really carry at the store very often. But I've had them in my cart like at least 3 times, probably 4 times now. And I get to the point where I want to check out, and then they're just so expensive. I talk myself out of it each time, you know. Just make do with what I have. I don't need all these extra colors. So many other craft supplies to spend that money on. Nobody is going to notice if I don't have, you know, warm gray 6 and I use warm gray 5 instead. I'm the only person in the world that's going to notice that, so keep talking myself out of it. Sure, it's just a matter of time before I have a moment of weakness and go crazy and buy $400 worth of markers, you know? I like to use the Copic app on my phone. I've been using that to keep track of the ones I have. And it's so satisfying when you buy a new marker and you go into the app and you get like click the little button and it changes color. That's kind of addictive in itself too. It's like, oh yes, another one for the collection. This is just the darkest gray I have out. Well, I have a darker gray out, but I'm using this C5. Take C5 and C3. So we're gonna skip a number. I have the C4, but we're gonna use C3 just so we have a little more of a color difference. Let's take this. Let's do. You could barely see that probably, but I actually like that. I think we're gonna. That way, I don't like leaving the paper plain white. I think is it just enough color where it's not overpowering, but it's also not plain white, which I prefer. That is a little hard to tell where I've colored and where I haven't colored with this. It's just that really subtle hint of a difference that I like. There we go. We're going to do our heart and then we'll come back with the gel pen. There we go. This lid does not want to go on. Oh, I smudged a little over the side. I think we're going to try to fix that real quick, actually. Get my colorless blender out and see if we could pick up some of that pink that we got over the side. Let's see if we can get this to work. And I got a little over the side here too. Yeah, I think that worked. I think that helped. Okay, now for the gel pen. Got some dried gel on the side that I'm just trying to rub off before I start. I'm sure there's secrets to using the gel pens that I just don't know. Maybe one day I'll have to look around and see if there's some videos I could watch that teach you how to use the gel pens better. It's like everything, you know, there's usually an easier way to do things. It might not be completely apparent at first. I could hear my dog snoring all the way in the other room. It's kind of funny. The house is so quiet today. I hear her snoring away. It's on her bed in the family room. Okay, I think that's good enough. Still not crazy about leaving his belly white, but I don't want to make things worse, you know? All right, so I'm going to move these markers. I'm going to grab a big shot. And we are going to do some embossing. I'm also going to adjust the height of my chair. Let's see. There. Ooh, that made a loud noise when I moved it. All right. So this is the first one I colored, so we're going to cut this one out first. Grab some of my ugly washi tape. I like to tape my dies down. You know, not always necessary, but I like it. And then I'm going to tape it down to one piece, and then we're just going to line up the other pieces underneath it, so it'll be faster. If I could get the dies out of this little packet, I'm just going to rip this paper and throw the paper away. All right. Let's tape down our little koala. Oh, he is going to be so cute. He's a fairly big size too, which I like. You know, previously I've spent quite a bit of money on stamping up stamps and dies, and theirs are always quite a bit smaller. I like these bigger sized ones. These bigger sized ones, not only do you use them on cards, but they're big enough to use in scrapbooks too. Oh, that fan is just adorable too. As I get these ready to cut them out, I like them more and more. And I think the fan we could use outside of Valentine's Day too. The fan, the sewing machine, definitely use those outside of Valentine's Day. And we cover that little balloon up with something else, like a bigger regular balloon. We can use him for birthdays. Could probably cut out a balloon that's like Disney colors and he could become like a Disney koala. I don't think I've ever seen a koala at Disney World before though. I don't think they have any at Animal Kingdom. Yeah, I'm trying to think, and I am not sure I've ever seen a koala at a zoo or any of the wildlife places we've been. Maybe they don't let the koala bears outside of Australia. Maybe we have to go to Australia if we want to see a koala. we lived in Chicago. We lived near O'Hare Airport, and my son, he is autistic, but he always liked looking at planes. He likes looking at trains. We go and we look at boats here sometimes, but we would play a game where we would go and watch planes take off and land at O'Hare, and then we would imagine like where the planes went. And one time we had my niece with us, and she really got into it. We saw one of the Australian planes come in. I don't know if it was Australian Airlines or what, but we saw an Australian one. And our story for that one was the flight attendants were all kangaroos. It was a plane full of koala bears, and they were making sure the little koala bears had all their tray tables up. And they were hopping down the aisle, making sure everybody had their seatbelt up on and their seat back up. But yeah, we really got into it. And now when I think about airplanes, I think about them full of little animal critters. And it's probably a silly thought, but it makes me smile. Yeah, think if you had like a kangaroo for your flight attendant, they're hopping up and down the aisle. So now, since I stamped all my stuff in the same places, I'm just gonna tape this down. Make it straight first though. And we don't have to retape down each individual die. And we just run it through the machine. We actually went to IKEA over the weekend. I was looking for some storage stuff and one of their flat toppers for my cart. And from the IKEA food court here in Tampa, we could see a Carnival cruise ship, which was just, oh, I wish I was going on a cruise, you know? Look at that, you know those people are headed for fun. And just so different from the IKEA in Chicago. Definitely not seeing any cruise ships from the IKEA in Chicago. Alright, here we go again. Oops, kind of threw my sewing machine down there. Alright, now we got all our little pieces done. Gotta take a second and just put these dies back on their magnetic sheet. Piece of washi tape fell off my finger and I didn't know where it went. No idea how these were organized down here before, but they all fit. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna go put this big shot back. Now we have our little die cuts, nicely colored. Our little koala bears. Oh my god, he's so cute. I definitely like him in the lighter gray versus the darker. So figure out what we're going to do for the sentiment. Now, I guess first we should figure out what we're going to do for our card. I have some glitter paper here. I have this that I made with that tissue bleeding technique, which I'm not a fan of. So I really didn't think ahead at all about what we're going to do here. So this is, we're going to make this up as we go along. And that's from, I got this at Dollar General, glitter tape. Never used it before. We'll see how that works. Got tissue over. We've got some pattern paper here too. And then I've got our stamps. So I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna reach across here. I don't have any small little panels, so I had these small little panels cut out. So I think our card we could do that, and then we could do I love eucalyptus down here. And then we can map that on the pink, and we can put it on the other pink. I think that's what we're gonna do for the first one. And let's put this on a block so we can stamp with it. So you can tell something gets spilled on that block. I haven't used the stamp before, so I'm gonna do what the Close to My Heart lady said, push it on my skin to get some of the extra oil off. Now our other dilemma. Oof. Do we want this just plain, or do we want to emboss it? I think we might want to emboss it. So actually, when I was messing around with that tissue stuff yesterday, my heat gun overheated and I broke my heat gun. So I'm just opening up this new one I ordered from Amazon. It says it's dual temperature. We'll see how this thing works. And I think I'm gonna have to get the scissors out to open it. So brand new heat gun. I also ordered the Tim Holtz one because it's not as hot as most heat guns, so it's better for using with like watercolors and your inks. But this will be my all-purpose embossing heat gun. And being from Amazon, it's always a gamble with whether it will burn your house down or not. So I am hoping it does not start any fires. Sorry for all the noise. Get that out. Ready. Oh, I wrinkled my little piece of paper. We'll have to pull out a different piece of paper to stamp. And quite honestly, if we're gonna just stamp it on this little square, I think we're gonna use the stamp platform. And since I have 3 koalas, maybe we'll make 3 of these at the same time. So I'm gonna put our pattern paper aside. Let's put our glitter paper aside. Let's just make some room here to work. Let's assemble our heat gun. Let's hope I don't hurt myself doing this. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're gonna put the rest of our stamps aside. We're gonna have the embossing powder out. We don't wanna get powder on those. Put that thing aside. All right, we'll grab the smaller stamp platform because this is a small stamp. We'll get everything lined up, and then I'll grab the embossing powder Look, I did not do a good job cleaning that last time I used it, but it'll be all right. Okay, so again, when we look at this, let's make sure we line everything up the way we want. We've got our little koala, our little bear. He could even hang off the top a little, it wouldn't matter. But we want to make sure we get this kind of centered. Stamp sticking to my fingers a little, making this a little difficult to position it. Okay. Oh, driving myself nuts now. All right. So I think we put that there. We might even put him on foam dots. So he might even be popped up. So we get our stamp on here. I'm going to grab my embossing stuff. Got my little pan and my coffee filter there. Put that block aside since we're not going to use it. Move all this stuff around. I'm going to plug this heat gun in real quick. And then hopefully we will finish this card before I get done with my lunch break. Let's test to make sure this works. Yep, okay. So then we'll be ready to emboss. I've also heard that Tim Holtz heat gun is a lot quieter than most of the others, and that is a bit of a selling point for me. Get this nice and inked up. Probably could have even done this sentiment in a different color. We might stop and look at the other colors I have before we stamp the next one. Okay, it's nice and dark on there. Let's move that aside. Get our embossing powder out. Just getting the extra powder off. Okay, we're gonna set that aside, and I'm gonna heat this up. Alright, that came out nicely. That came out very nice. So I'm going to go off camera for a second here. I'm going to look and see what other pigment colors I have to work with. A red, but you know, I don't think the red goes very well with our other colors. Let's try again. Let's see what else we've got here. Got this pink and got this blue. I think this blue might be a good choice. I've also got this Twilight blue. My son walking around upstairs. He's probably gonna come down and say hello. I know he's been up. He didn't just wake up, but he hasn't come down and said hi to me yet. Oh, there he is. He says hi. Yep. Oh yeah? I'm doing a live stream, buddy. Do you want to say hello?
Oh, hi, I'm Mike.
Yep, you're Mike.
I'm like a YouTuber that takes this video.
Yep, that's you, buddy.
Advertise.
Alright, so now, you know, we're going to grab a baby wipe. We're going to wipe our stamp off. I don't know, I think we're going to try this paper we have. I think either that pink or this blue will look good. So maybe we'll do one of each. Let's wipe some of the black off our stamp here. I just realized you can't see what I'm doing right now. Sorry about that. Just trying to clean this up a little. Then I'm going to take a paper towel and wipe some of this extra moisture off the platform. So I think, let's do the pink first. How many of these little squares do I have? So I think we'll do 2 pink and 2 blue. I have more squares over here somewhere. I'll just have to. I don't want to make too many of these. Well, I guess I'll probably make more pandas later, so it doesn't really, not pandas, koalas. I'll make more koalas later, so I'm sure I'll end up using these up either way. So I'm going to get this nice and inked. I can't remember if I have embossed with this VersaFine clear stuff before or not, but I usually use the VersaFine black, so hopefully you're good here. Okay, let's, those magnets can be dangerous. Move this off to the side. Get our embossing set up. I still have cat fur in my embossing powders. I am determined to use up some of this embossing powder and not just throw it away. And it looks like our powder is sticking just fine to this VersaFine clear. So pigment ink, you want to use pigment ink or embossing ink when you do this, because it gives the dust something to stick to. And the light came out good. And I'll tell you, it smells like I almost burnt this one though. You could smell that it started to burn a little, so I had to be a little careful with this heat gun. I was using the high setting. Next one we'll use the low setting and see if that's better. Okay, so let's make one more of the pink. Then we will move on to the blue. I hate it when these magnets jump together because that could really pinch your fingers. And I know that sounds a little whiny, but it hurts. It actually does hurt if you get your fingers pinched by the magnets. We need to move her. There we go. Nice and clear. You know what we're going to do? One more time. There we go. It's very juicy now. Set that aside. Pull out our embossing powder again. I know it's very repetitive, but I find it to be pretty relaxing. And what I really like to do is I like to make multiples of each item. It's, you know, super repetitive, but it's so relaxing. You make multiples of each stamp and stuff. And I never have anything to do with all my multiples. They just kind of like sit somewhere, but I do find it really relaxing. Okay, so we're gonna try this on the lower setting. I think that came out just fine. And I don't think the lower setting took very much longer than the higher setting, so I think I'm just going to stick to that lower setting so I don't start any paper on fire. I have burnt paper before. I've never achieved actual flames, which I'm proud of, but I don't want that experience. So we will use the lower setting. I really shouldn't put the paper towel on top of my stamp because you get lint on your stamp like that. Should not have done that. Okay, so now we're going to try that lighter blue. Not that blue, this blue. Warm Breeze. I have these labeled so when they're sitting in the drawer for storage, I don't have to lift up every single ink pad to find out what I'm looking for. Alright, let's see how this looks. I actually like this color blue a lot. I think that's a pretty blue. Get our embossing powder out again. Here we go. Get this extra powder off. And let's go again. I'm going to use the lower setting. That came out cute, and I think if we pull the background paper, yeah, it's not the same exact shade, but it's close enough where it will look cute together. All right, let's make one more. Move that over. Our embossing powder out again. I probably could have put the powder on all of these and then carefully set them aside and heated them all up at once, but I didn't want to risk, you know, setting something down and ruining it or having some of the powder fall off. So we're just doing it the slow way. Here we go again in that lower setting. Gotta let it heat up a little. Ooh, accidentally turn it on high instead of turning it off. Yeah, looks good, nicely embossed. So far, no complaints with the cheap Amazon embossing gun. So I'm gonna take a second here, and I'm gonna put the lid on my embossing powder, and I'm gonna put that away so I don't accidentally spill it again. All right, we're gonna clean off our stamp real quick. Our baby wipe. So I bought these at the dollar store. I've been using the other kind they sell, and I think I'm gonna switch back to the other kind. I like these because they have a little thing that pops up, but there's like little soap suds on my stuff now, and the other one didn't seem to do that. So I think I'm gonna switch back to the other kind, even though the packaging isn't as convenient. Stamping kit form away for now. We're going to put our stamp away too. I'm looking at this, and when we put our little guy on here, I wonder if we should add some little hearts. Add some of these little hearts off to the side. Maybe we'll try it. I think we're going to do these in the pink. But actually, I think I want a softer pink. So I'm going to use this pink. And I think we're going to just put some little hearts around. We'll make a little background out of these hearts. Yeah, I think we'll just put some little hearts around. I'm just gonna go a little random with them. I'm not the best at doing random things. I always try to like line stuff up, and it makes it worse. Now I feel like we've added too many hearts, but maybe we won't feel that way when we put our little guy on there. Okay, I think we've definitely added too many hearts. He will still, oh, it's not that bad. He'll still be the focal point. Let's add a couple hearts to this one. I think we'll add as many. We'll just kind of do some there. Do some over here, do some up there, and then there. That'll be the hearts for that one. And then we'll do one in black too. Probably should have only done one. Actually, you know what? We will make one more where we only do one little set of stamp of little hearts on it. Let's do this. Be kind of behind where his balloon is. And I bet you that will look the best. Try to put my lid on. There we go. Baby wipe our stamp off a little. Move our foam out of the way. also a single little heart. I have to remember there's this single little heart on here. Come back to these if we so desire. Okay, so now how we're going to structure this. I've not used this paper from the dollar store before. It will be an adventure. I actually have it 3 different colors. Oh, they have more colors, but I think 3 different colors we're going to use. Let's see how bad it is with getting glitter all over, because sometimes you get this stuff and it just bleeds glitter everywhere. I'm hoping that will not be the case. I don't know where I put my envelope for my stamps, so here they are. There's going to be glitter out and about. Let's try not to get on the stamps. Somehow I got cat fur all over the stamp holder that was on my desk where there is no cat. So I'll set that aside. So I think what we're going to try to do first is we'll just try to frame that. So let's figure out how much we need to cut. This looks like it's 4 by 5. So we will just put, I think we'll do a 1/4 of an inch bigger. So we'll do 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. You can figure out how to open this. This is out. Pretty thick glitter paper. Doesn't seem to be sparkling all over yet, so. Okay, so we'll do 4 1/4. So actually, I think if we do it like this, we get more cuts out of our page. So 4 1/4. But that's not right. You know what? I measured wrong. How did I measured it? It's 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. See, can't be trusted. I lined it up wrong. So let's see. There we go. We got our nice little frame there. And then for our card base, that will be, so the cards I believe are 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So we're going to go a tick down from 5 1/2, and then just a tick down from 4 1/4. We're going to keep that. That's a cute little border. And then for our paper, we're going to cut this top off first. Oh, I just knocked something down. I don't even know what it was, but something fell off my desk. Now we're going to go down a tick more, so we are here. So if we go down to here, we should get a nice little glitter outline on our card base. And we went down here, so we'll go down here from the 5.5. And we should have a nice mat. Kind of a simple little card, but it doesn't always have to be totally fancy. For this one at least. I think that will be cute. So we have this tape from the Dollar General. Now this one is getting sparkles all over. We're gonna put these aside for now. 'Cause look at that glitter everywhere. And actually, let's see. I have some close to my heart sparkle tape. I might use the close to my heart sparkle tape instead. I'll do this just to break up the background in this card a little. I'm actually nearing the time where I have to get going. After we put this guy together. My lunch is definitely over. I have to get back to work. The meeting's late into the afternoon today, unfortunately. I don't know. I don't see, it's not bleeding as dead as that dollar store one was. And since we're using so much blue, I kind of want to break it up with the pink. That is a lot of sparkle, though. Not a lot of sparkle. So maybe we want to do just shimmer ribbon back here to break him up. Yeah, I think I like just the shimmer ribbon. It's still sparkly, but not as sparkly. So we're gonna tape down some of our layers now. There's our layer. We're going to take down our other layer before we actually before we glue down that strip, because I want to make sure that's the way we want to do it. There's our second layer. I think I'm going to like this better with the pink glimmer paper instead of the blue, but it's still good. It's still cute. And then for this ribbon, so I'm not 100% committed to it yet, so what we're going to do is we're going to put it down with a glue dot. So if then I look at it, I'm like, oh my god, that's horrible. We can get it back off there without ruining our paper. we're just gonna take this and this. That's how it looks. Now, yeah, I think that's good. I think we're gonna leave that little bit of shimmer in there, the shimmer ribbon. It's not as intense as the tape. Not quite as many sparkles. So I'm a little worried we're starting to go a little overboard with the sparkles. Try to flatten that glue dot down, but that's as good as it's gonna get. Okay, so I'm gonna tape these to make this card a little flatter. That way if I do mail it, we don't have to pay extra postage. Alright. Now we're gonna grab some little foam dots. Let's see what I've got out here. I've got some really old ones, but they're really big. Gotta rummage in my adhesive drawer real quick. Let's see what we could find in here. I'm rummaging, hopefully for a package that's already opened. Trying to use the stuff that's opened up first. And there, I found some fairly old Stampin' Up! Ones that we could use. Had these in my stash for a very, very long time. All sorts of cat fur on these. Pull the cat fur off. I'd feel less comfortable using these on a scrapbook page that we want to last for a very long time, but on a card, it's okay. There's another piece of fur stuck to that one. Yeah, I don't think the cards are gonna be around for posterity, so. Move that one to the other ear. And I'm being a little liberal with these just because they're old and I'm trying to use them up. I'm really gonna pop him up. He is not gonna be going anywhere. I'll do one more over here on this side. And then we'll call it done. And then I'm gonna wrap up this stream. After we finish our card, we'll glue this to a card base, and then we'll be done with our koala Valentine's Day card. And I will be getting ready for my meetings and spend the rest of my day